In this PDF file, we have 107 different pages. In each pages, we have tables, data, and sometimes one table expanded up to 3 or 4 different pages. So if you look into this, the initial tables start at page 5. It goes like page 6, page 7, page 8, page 9. So it starts at 4 and ends at 9th page. So we have 5 page long table. I want to extract this data, as well as I want to extract the header for that particular table. So if you look into this, it says 2023 and so on. So we have to extract this first line. In every page we have that particular header. Okay, it's different than what we have in this one. Okay, it says all manners of take, and it says all rifle seasons. Okay, so I want to extract all the table data from this 107 page long PDF files, and I want to group them based on the column header. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to extract a lot of table from a PDF files, and how can we combine this data and dump this data into one Excel file. Okay, so in this particular PDF file, I have 3 different type of table. I want to extract them and I want to dump into 3 different sheet of a one Excel file. So that's the end goal of this particular video. So let's get started, and this one is going to be a little bit long videos because I have to explain a lot of code. So please be patient. Let's get started. For this one, I'm going to use PyMuPDF, and I have a utils.ipynb. So basically I have utils Jupyter notebook, and that is this one. So let me just show you what we have in this one. So basically we have some utility function, and the first one, it says that get table boundaries. So I'll pass the page number, I'll pass the unique header terms like start columns and end columns, end column and footer term, and that's the footer term, and bottom margin if we don't have any footer term. So let me explain this a little bit. So if you look into this PDF file, unit is the first column, and I want to get the unit column name, and based on this position, horizontal position, it will extract all the column name of this particular table, and also it will extract the vertical position of those columns. Okay, so that's why we need the first column name. And in some scenario we have this season columns. You can see seasons. In some page we have this season column. Show me actually. If we go into this, 5, yes, you can see. So that's why I'm just specifying that the starting column name of unit or season. Okay, if it doesn't find unit, then it will try season. Okay, and footer terms, sometimes you will see that we have footer terms like this total row. Okay, I want to extract this total row position, and I want to extract the data only between this particular section, like of this page. So click that page and then extract data only from this particular position. Okay, so I have recorded another video to extract the position of a search text, so I'll put that video link in the cards. So please make sure you watch that video if you want to learn more about how to search for a specific text and find the coordinate of that particular search text. Okay, I have other videos on this topic, like how to extract data from PDF tables. So you may watch those videos as well to have better understanding how to extract data from a borderless table. So if you look into this table, then you'll see that we don't have any border. Like only in the header row we have those borders, but in other rows we don't have any borders, right? Like you can see this doesn't have any horizontal border or grid line or vertical grid line, right? So we don't have any grid line in horizontal section or vertical section. So we need to extract this data based on the text strategy. Okay, so the first utility function is that get table boundaries. So it will just extract this, find the table boundaries by searching for header and footer terms using PyMuPDF. So it will just return me the x0, top, x1 and bottom coordinate for table boundary excluding the footer. Okay, so that's it for this one. I'll not explain this in details. I'll add those code files in the description below, so you can just download this code and you can just check this code. Okay, it's very easy. And then we have get column x coordinate. We'll find this, we take this page as a first parameter, table columns. So we take a list, and then it will find all the table columns vertical position, because that will be useful for extracting the data from a borderless table. Okay, and then first column start position and possible start calls and so on. Okay, so this is also easier and you can check them out. Okay, so let's go into the main part of the code. So it will just run this. It will import those utility function, as this utility function is embedded in this particular notebook. Okay, so I'm just opening this document, and then table on columns, that is unit, bowls, cows, calves, harvest, hunters, success, rec.days. So these are the columns name. You'll be able to extract that based on, like, just going through these tables. You will find that okay, we do have this type of columns. Okay, so that's the first type of table. And then we have table 2 columns. That's the second type of column lists. Okay, and we do have another table that is something different. Okay, I think that is what we have in 105, right? So you can see this is another type of columns name. Okay, so the first thing that I have done is that I have opened that particular PDF file using PyMuPDF. I have declared 2 different lists for columns, and then we have a mapping. You can see page underscore title underscore map, and if you look into this, that all time we do have the title at the top, at the first line. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. Look through from page 5 to 108, so it will exclude the 108. It will just go up to 5 to 107, and then find this particular page. Python is 0 based index, that's why -1. Okay, so page and then title. So I'm just using get text dictionary option and sort this based on the reading order. Okay, so it will just show me this one at the first. That's why I'm getting the blocks, and take the first blocks and extract the lines, and from that lines extract the first line, and in that line just extract the spans, and in that spans take the first one and extract the text part. So that will give me the title of that particular table. Okay, so it will give me this one. Okay, and then I'm just adding that into my dictionary so that I can use it later on. Okay, let me run this. Okay, so if I just run this, you'll see that for the 5th one the header is this, for the 6th one, 7th, 8th, 9th. So you can see up to 9th page the header is same, right? And then we have second type of header, and that goes like this up to 10 to 14 and so on. So we have extracted the headers, and we have created a map, like page number as a key and title as the value of that particular key in that particular dictionary. Okay, now we do have one function that get DFS. So it's just extracting the doc. It is just asking for the document parameter, start page number and end page number. So start page number will be from 5. So if you look into this, our table start at 5th page. Okay, up to this 4th one, these are some maps and some generic text, or kind of like table of contents. Okay, and then we do have a methodology, and then we have one more table, but this one is not important, so that's why it's just I have skipped that. So our table is set at page 5 and it goes up to 107. Okay, so that's why if you look into this invocation, you will see this 507. Okay, so start page, end page, and then I'm just printing that. Let me just run this. So it just printed that start page number is 5, end page number is 107. Then what I'm doing, I'm just creating a DFS, and it's a dictionary, and then I'm just looping through each page. So start page number -1, because Python index is 0 based index, so it will go like -1. Go up to end page number, because this will exclude the end page number, so that's okay. So get the page, and that is just doc I, and if length page dot search for antler. So this one is also based on experimentation. Okay, so if you look into this, then you'll see that so if you look into this, then you'll see that in case of this, the page is start little bit lower, rather if in any other cases, then you'll see it is start little bit on the top. So if you look into this again, that in case of get column x coordinate, then I'm passing table to columns as a list of columns, and in case of it doesn't have that, then I'm passing table on columns. Okay, and this one is, if you look into this, get column x coordinate. So if you look into this, then you'll see a table columns, that's a list. First column is start position, so that is the 52.4, and possible start columns, and if you look into this, it says unit and season. Okay, so this one is also based on some experimentation, so you need to try to do some experiment on this particular PDF file and see that okay, which one is which, and then you will be able to see that. Okay, so that's why I have this particular condition, that if this search text is found, then it should use table 2 columns, otherwise use table on columns. Okay, and then clip rectangle, so get table boundary, so that will give me the boundary of that particular table where I need to extract the data. And then we have this page.find tables. Clip is basically this clip rectangle, vertical strategy is lines, horizontal strategy is text, and vertical line, this slicing position of those columns, that is basically this temp. And this temp is basically what we have in this section, that x coordinate of those columns. Okay, so you should just check into the PyMuPDF library, find tables documentation, and you'll understand this much better, or you can watch my previous videos. Okay, so then I have the snap white tolerance, so that it doesn't have blank rows in between two different rows, like we don't have blank rows in between these two rows. So that's why we have this snap white tolerance is 8. Okay, now I'm just extracting the tables, and then I'm just saying that okay, if we don't have any tables, then print this message and continue with next page. And then if we have a table, then just use df equals to tables to pandas, convert this into a pandas. And then I'm just getting the title, it says blocks, clip, and so on. And then I'm getting the title. Oh, I already had this title. If we could do this in this way, we can do that as well. Anyway, then we have this df.columns and 0 start with 0 dash. Then I'm just doing some transformation, if we have this kind of dash, then I'll remove that dash and then get the last part of this string. So sometimes we had some hiccup on this particular thing. So let me just try this. Print df. Let's see. So if you look into this, it says column 0, column 1, column 2, and so on. Column 0, column 0. Let's see. Okay, let me do something. Print this only if it has. Okay, let's see. So start page is 5, end page is 107. You can see this one. It's a 0 dash unit, 1 dash harvest, 2 dash hunters, and so on. So in that case, I'm just cleaning up that column name, that split this by hyphen and take the last part of this and then strip this. Okay, that's it. And if we do have df.column 0 equals to column 0, then use first row as a header. So basically that means it is being added, default column names are being added as a column. So we have the columns in the first row, so promote that first row as a header row. Okay, so that's what I'm doing in this section. So, and let me show you that one as well. So let's run this, we run this again, then you can see it says column 0. Basically we have the column in the first row. Okay, that's what I'm doing, that okay, use first row as a columns and take only from second row to nth row. Okay, and then I'm just adding a new column, page number, that is i+1, and if the shape is 0, then no rows found on page i+1. And you will see that, let me just comment this out again, and then you see start page number 5, end page number 107, and you'll see that we have a message that no rows found on page i+7, and it says 87. So if I go into the 87th page, then you'll see that I don't have any data in this particular table. So that's why I'm adding this particular message, that okay, if we don't have any data in that particular table, I shouldn't do aggregation on that one. It's a blank table, right? So that's why it's just continue with the next page, and then I'm just creating a hash key based on the column name, so that we are adding those columns name as a key of that particular dictionary. You can see dfs hash key equals to blank array, and dfs hash key equals dot append df. So it will create table based on different set of columns. Okay, so different set of columns will have data in a different keys in that particular dictionary, and that's how I get this dfs, that is basically a dictionary. If you look into this, that is basically a dictionary. Okay, so that's how I get this dfs. Now I need to do some cleaning up, so let me just show you this one first, that if you look into this, the df is none and dfs array is empty array, and I'm just running this loop, that for key value in dfs.item. So it will just show you a different set of columns. You can see this one columns, this is the index. So basically these are the column name, unit, bulls, cows, calves, and so on. Number of table is 76. There are 76 different tables of this particular type. Okay, and there are 25 tables of this particular type, and there are one table of this particular type, and the table page number is 105. You can see the page number here as well. So it's just showing me some basic statistics that how many different type of tables we have in this particular PDF file, and what are the pages for that, and what are the different columns. That's how I get this one. And then I need to do some cleaning and converting cell. So I'm just using apply to all transformation in dfs.array. It says if we have a numeric value, then convert it into a proper numeric value. Okay, that's what I'm doing in this section. It says if is in instance of int or float, then return just the same value. Skip if already numeric. Skip if not a string. Okay, so if it is not a string, then also skip that. Keep only digit, dots and commas. So I'm just drawing some transformation. Okay, this is the cleaned version. Skip empty string, and then clean dot replace comma will be replaced with blank, and then just convert this into a proper float number or integer number. Okay, that's what I'm doing here. And then I'm just checking the first type of tables, that is this one. And if I go to the next one, then I'm getting the second type of table, and this is the third one. And then I'm just writing this data to an Excel file, and that's what we are doing in this part. Okay, so I'm just creating tables, table 1, table 2 and table 3, and writing that data into this particular output.xlsx file. I already have this output.xlsx file, so let me just delete this. Okay, and let me run this. You can see it's already done. So let's see the data, and you can see table 1, table 2 and table 3. Okay, so this is the table 1 data, this is table 2, this is table 3. That's it. That's how we can extract a lot of tables. You can also extract the table name and other property, and then you can dump that into one Excel file instead of multiple Excel file. That's it for this video. If you find this video helpful, please consider subscribing. Have a good day.